All right, guys, Darren from FBA Elite, and welcome back to another video. So can one product really change your life? That's what we're going to be taking a look at in this video. I'm going to be showing you a private label product on Amazon.co.uk that is doing insane figures. However, there is an important caveat to this video, and I want you to stick around to later on in the video when I go through that, as without that, all of this is completely pointless. So let me talk you through the product first. So earlier this week, I was looking for water flossers. Someone actually sent it to me as a gift idea for their birthday. So I jumped onto Amazon and was looking at all of these different water flossers. And the first thing that jumped out at me was these are clearly private label products because they all look the same. Everyone's trying to bundle the most amount of items possible in an attempt to stand out, which is fine. But obviously knowing the private label game, with a lot of private label products, you don't really expect these to be the best quality at £20 to £30. And you see that with a lot of these top sellers only averaging 4 stars. So when this is the case, quite often it does indicate that there may be some underlying issues with these products that pull the overall average down. Otherwise, you'd see a lot more people like this with 4.5 stars. But again, these guys are only just about, they've got a 4.3, so that drags them just into the 4.5 star category, whereas 4.2 or below will put you in the 4-star category. But anyway, I digress. So this product, I thought I'd take a look on Helium 10. I was interested to see what this would be going for because these look like they'd be fairly light. They're not the smallest things in the world, just imagine boxed up, so you probably would have to sea ship them, but certainly these are a private label products, and if you could come up with a feature to stand out, you might have a chance in this niche. So I opened up X-Ray from Helium 10, which is the product research software that I always use, and the standard discount codes I'll pop up on screen and have some links to at the end of the video. So I was using X-Ray to go through this product, and the stats were insane. They were some of the highest stats that I've seen for private label products on Amazon.co.uk. So it's not rare to see these on .com, but to see them on UK is quite rare. So the top seller here, a private label seller, is doing 4,000 units per month. They're doing £160,000 worth of these flossers. Just one seller on this front page. That is absolutely crazy. And if we go to the search trend here to see whether we might be in a seasonal peak and put this over the last 90 days, you actually see at the moment we are in the lower periods, compared to Q4 when we see the massive spikes. And if we go through to individual products, so this is the overall search trend for water flossers, but if we go into the top selling products and look at their sales, let's put this back over the last 1 year. Look at that spike into Q4 here, and also in January, where I guess a lot of people were taking their dental hygiene seriously. But you can see at some instances they were selling 400 to 500 units per day. That's crazy. That's crazy. And this demand runs really deep. You see, all of these guys here are in 4 figures. And I can imagine these products aren't that expensive to source either. They're basically plastic with a small amount of electronics in there. So seeing these figures, I was quite taken aback, thinking, wow, that is a huge opportunity. So what would happen normally if I find a product like this? I'd go through it from left to right, as I've shown you guys in many previous videos. I'll do it one more time here as an example for anyone that is new to the channel. So I start from left to right. The first thing I do is ensure that all of these products are comparable, because sometimes you'll use a search term on Amazon and all of the results won't necessarily be the same type of product. So you go through these first to make sure they are indeed all water flossers, so that the stats here are actually all relevant and comparable. The next thing I do is take a look at the brands to make sure there's no big brands dominating. So other than one from Panasonic there and one from Oral-B, I don't recognize any other of these brands. So that's a really promising sign. Price point looks quite healthy. The top seller is at $39.99. Below that, they're around the £30 mark. So that gives you an idea. If you were sourcing this, if you could source this for probably £8 or below, you'd have a decent chance of making good returns on this product. Sales are insanely high. That's one of the caveats I'm going to come back to later in this video. Sales graph, there doesn't appear to be any seasonalities that would be of concern, but there certainly are some seasonal boosts. So like I just showed you with the top seller there is a spike in Q4 and at the start of the year, and that was reflected in the overall search trend as well, that there was a spike in Q4. But even now, we're in April at the moment when the sales are lower, and we're still seeing really respectable sales figures. Coming across, there's no issues there with the FBA fees. And let's go across a bit further for some of these other statistics. The ratings was the thing that I kind of flagged as there is room for improvement here, as too many of these products are not averaging 4.5 stars. So if you could average 4.5 stars or even 5 stars somehow, which would probably be very, very hard to do in this niche, then your product would have a good chance of standing out against these ones which will have a lower overall rating. And just coming across a bit more, let's see here on this right hand side, fulfillment, only one there is from AMZ. So only one of them is an AMZ seller, or it's Amazon. There is, oh sorry, it's another one down here, but the rest are FBA. So it's all really, really promising. So the next thing I'd do, now I'd found this product, is think, right, how can I improve this product? How am I going to stand out in this niche? So there are a number of ways you can do this. You can just focus from a design perspective or functionality perspective. The most common way is people dive into the reviews. So they'd click in to these top sellers. So if we take the one here, Hang Sun, which is the top seller, you can either manually go through the reviews, which takes ages, or if you guys are using Helium 10, and I know many of you are, as I see all of the referrals that go through, if you go on here and go into review insights, you can focus on just, say, for example, the 2-star or the 1-star or both of those reviews, click extract reviews, and it will save you having to go through all of them. And what is really useful now, they've got this word cloud here. So you can see the most common issue seems to be, it's more about this stopping working after a period of time, more so than the functionality. So it's something you could potentially explore with the supplier. Why are these failing? Can you upgrade any of the components to ensure they are more reliable long term? You can also click through to review analysis. And if something, for example, stopped working, you can click on that and find out every review that mentions stop working and see if you can spot a pattern. So for example, you might see something about battery life and you click on that and it tells you whether it's great battery life or it's poor battery life. So this is where this is really powerful. So review insights from Helium 10 is a really powerful tool you can use, or you can do it for free by just manually going through the ratings. Then at the point you think you might have got a good idea, you start to make some notes. You might head off to Alibaba to do some more research into potential sourcing costs and run your profit margins. Another thing you can do as well is go into Seller Central, and this is the product opportunity tool. So if you go to growth, product opportunity explorer, and put in the search term there, so I've put in water flosser there. And what you can do is dive into real Amazon data. So this can be really, really powerful for analyzing a niche in more detail. So let's click into Water Flosser and look through some of the information that I think is important for you guys to be aware of. So the first thing I want you guys to take a look at is this click share. So sometimes in some niches, you'll see the click share is dominated by the top 2 or 3 products, but this is quite well spread out. And I think that is reflected in the actual stats that we see within X-Ray. You can see that the sales do run quite deep. As you can see here, even though the first one is doing, or the first couple are doing good sales, the rest are still doing good sales as well. So it's always good to see the click share distribution like that. You also have a couple of other types up the top here. So you've got insights, which is useful for seeing how people are actually shopping. So the majority of people are buying from the top 20 products. So you might see that the demand does run lower than the top 20, but what are these guys having to do to generate these sales? So you might think, oh, I can come on here and only sell 200 of these, but realistically, you might be spending an absolute fortune and not actually generating many organic sales. These might all be driven by PPC. So it's important to see how deep the sales run directly on Amazon and not just trust the sales you see here, as you're not certain whether these are coming from PPC or organic, where it's fair to assume that a good chunk of these sales on the first page are coming from organic sales and not just PPC. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, you can't actually see that because I'm in the way there. If I just make myself disappear, you can see here they are showing the average review rating at 4.23. So if you can get something above 4.3 and get that 4.5 stars, then it'll give you a chance of standing out in this niche. But definitely use the product opportunity explorer to see what additional information you can find out about this particular niche and whether it's something that you want to explore further. So going back to kind of what I mentioned at the start of the video with regards to, can one product change your life? Well, I think the stats clearly show it is possible. Imagine if you had a product selling £150,000 worth per month. Now, realistically, if you come into this niche, I would say don't aim for that initially. Go for maybe £30,000 to £40,000, but you could potentially be clearing £10,000 in profit off one product per month. And for many people, I'm sure that would be life-changing. But the big lesson that I want you to take away from this video is not just that Amazon FBA does offer the potential to change your life, but if you are a new seller and you chose this product, you are 99% going to fail. And that's what I want to get across in this video. You see this a lot in YouTube videos, YouTubers talking about these big products doing insane figures, making it seem as if this is the type of product you should choose and this is how everyone performs on Amazon. But this is just not the case. If you come to Amazon and start an Amazon FBA business and you've got maybe £2,000 or £3,000 or even £5,000, this is not the right fit for you. You will not have the budget to launch the product, because if you want to appear on this first page, you're going to need to be outselling these guys. So really, you're going to be targeting 1,500 units to 2,000 units per month. Now, if you're trying to generate that using PPC, that is going to cost you an awful lot of money. I mean, if I just pop up a calculator now, if we said it's going to cost you £5 in PPC per sale, and we multiply that by, let's go on the low side and say 1,500 units per month. You need $7,500 for PPC for 1 month. In addition to that, you're also going to need enough stock. So you're going to want enough stock for at least 2 to 3 months, because the last thing you want to do is invest $7,500 in PPC to get ranked and then run out of stock. So let's say you're going to order 5,000 units. So that will last you hopefully 3 months. Times that, say, by £8. That's £40,000 you've got to invest just in inventory. Chuck on another 10 grand for shipping probably on top of that. And you can see all of a sudden this niche, which people are talking about, is, wow, look at this amazing niche. This could change your life. You can make £150,000 in sales. Yes, that's great if you've got £100,000 to invest and are willing to take that risk. But if you are a new seller, this is not the right niche for you. I just wanted to show you that, yes, a product can change your life on Amazon, but you've got to find the right fit, the right product for you. So what I've done is put together a PDF that you guys can download. So go to fbaelite.com, it's completely free. Go to the resource section and there is a PDF there called the Product Research Checklist, and that will help you develop or find the right product for your individual circumstances. And that is the biggest takeaway that I want you to get from this video. Also, while you're on there, check out the discount section as well, as we've got discount to Helium 10, which is the tool that I've been using throughout this video. So make sure you check that out. You get 50% off your first month with FBA Elite 50 or 10% off every month with FBA Elite 10. And if you want to talk to me and over 4,000 other people, go to the forums, sign up. It is completely free. And what I'm going to do now is pop up a video which shows you how to use that product research cheat sheet that I just showed you in more detail, and I recommend you guys give that a watch.